There are only two outcomes in a game. You win or you lose. And we need to program both outcomes for your game, right? So let's do it. So in order to demonstrate you how to do this, I'm gonna create a new level. So we go File, New Level, then we're gonna create just a basic level. And here it is. Let's save it. So before we go to the win situation, let's create some logic for a situation when the player loses. Because it happens, right? It's a game. So in order to do that, and for the next part as well, we need some platforms. So I'm gonna open the content drawer, go to the blueprints folder, and as you remember, we have some platforms here. Let's start with just a basic platform, just like this, and then we're gonna do a moving platform. Okay, it's gonna be moving like this because it's moving up and down. Then put another moving platform. I believe this one moves down and up. I'm not sure. we're gonna take a look at it. And then just basic platform again. And another basic platform, which will be the finish of the level. Okay, so I'm gonna select the floor and just click delete to delete it. And so now the level looks more, dramatic. Let's put the player start right here on this first platform. Okay, now let's click play and take a look. Wrong direction. Yeah, much better. Okay, so now we have the platform. So let's just check if everything works, if we can jump. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Got it. I got it. That was too far, or I'm very bad in my own game. Just move them a bit closer. Okay, let's try again. No. Okay, but anyway, you can see if you fall from the platforms, you just fall and fall and fall endlessly. That's not what we want to see. So we need to add some logic, like what happens when a player falls. And in this class, we're going to talk about triggers. And triggers in Unreal Engine are actors that are used to cause an event to occur when they're interacted with by some other object in the level. In other words, they are used to trigger events in response to some other action in the level. In our case, we want trigger to be below the platforms so that when player overlaps this trigger, something happens, right? We don't want him to fall down and down endlessly. Maybe we want to just start the game over instead. So let's add a trigger. So to add a trigger, we're gonna click here and type trigger. Trigger box. Okay, so the trigger box is here, and as you can see, it is right here. We need it below the platforms, and we need to change its size because we want it to cover all the zone where the player can fall, because he can fall from this side of the platform, he can fall down here and there, and we want the trigger box to be everywhere. So let's change the size of this trigger box. Need to unlock this lock first. So yeah, we're gonna do it like this. Move it a bit. And now to the center, and then make it bigger like this. Okay, so you can change the perspective to check if the trigger box is where you want it to be. For example, you can go here. We have the perspective now. If you click and you choose top, it's gonna show you where your trigger box is. For example, right now, I think that's too much on this side. And if you want to, you can change the size of the trigger box, just like this. Move it. Okay, then you go to bottom. It's gonna be the same, right? And then you see from a side. Okay, I think it is pretty good. Let's go back to perspective view. So now we have this trigger, and what we need to do, we need to add some logic for this trigger, right? We have created a lot of blueprints, but actually, if you click here, you can see that your level has its own blueprint. So we're gonna open this level blueprint. Okay, so I'm gonna put it right here. I can see that my level is not saved, so let's save it. Save all. Okay, so now let's go back to this blueprint. Okay, and we don't need these events. I'm just gonna delete those. Again, we want to check that moment when a player overlaps this trigger box. If you right click, you can see that you already have the name. You can see that you already have your trigger box here, and you can add event for it. That's because you have your trigger box selected. So before we do that, let's rename this trigger box because I don't like this this name of it. We're gonna use F2 button. And let's give it a name. For example, start level. Okay, so now we have this trigger box. I'm gonna save it. So now I'm gonna select this trigger box again, go back to the blueprint. And although it didn't change the name for the trigger box here, that is okay. It's gonna change it later. So if you open this add event, you can find collision, and we can open this up and find on actor begin overlap. And that's what we need, right? You can see we have the name of the trigger box, restart level, right here. That's the name that we gave to the box. This is very simple logic. So if the character overlaps the box, then we want to restart the level. First, let's check if it is a character. So we're going to use our cast to third, where is it? Third person character. Here it is. And we're going to use this other actor. So if the character overlaps this box, we want to restart the level. What it means to open level. So we have open level by name and open level by object reference. And we're going to use this one because here we can select the level that we want to open. In this case, it's win-lose. So this is just the name of the level that we have created. If you didn't create a new level, and if you are working with your old level, you need to select the name of the level that you are working with right now. So I'm gonna save compile this. Let's go back and check. So let's say we are very clumsy. You can see it just restarts the level. So let's check that when we are here in this platform, it doesn't overlap the trigger box. It doesn't. I'm gonna check this platform as well because it goes down. No, okay, very good. So yeah, jump, jump, jump. No, Okay, so if you want the character to fall a bit longer, you can, let's select this, and you can move this trigger box a bit down. And now if we save it and go back to play, you can see, we can see a bit of the falling, so we can understand what happened. Yeah, I think I like it. I'm just gonna leave it like this because I want to see the animation of the falling. That's good. Okay, nice.